and gentlemen, welcome to the Teen Crystals podcast. I am T.
And I'm Crystal.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are so happy to have you all back with us for another episode of this here podcast. Matter of fact, some of y'all have been with us for a whole year. Happy anniversary, Crystal.
I know.
1 year.
1 year.
Not the ghost of the podcast, like, shut your asses up. Y'all ain't did shit.
Y'all ain't did nothing.
Y'all ain't did nothing. Can you believe
Yes. 1 year. I got myself a little present too. I got myself a new mug.
I seen when you came in there, but I didn't see what was on it. Oh. And just like that, this went from cute to you didn't piss me off. Not you getting ready for spooky season at the beginning of September. You about to piss me off, Crystal.
So my mom, we've been seeing a lot of commercials for Halloween and fall and all that stuff. And she's like, it's September. And I'm like, yep, mom, it is. It's fall season. It's pumpkin spice, pumpkins, acorns. It's time for us to get ready for Halloween and then Christmas.
Girl.
Like, we're there. It's that season. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. But let me tell you something. Because when Starbucks had their pumpkin spice latte on August 22nd, I was there to get one.
Oh, okay. Wait. You said that they had a pumpkin spice latte on August the 22nd, 2024, the year of our Lord.
Yes, I believe so. I believe that is.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
No.
That's prime summer heat.
No. It was perfect. It was exactly. And you know who I hit up? I hit up Kay. All the way in bumfuck Ohio.
Oh, girl.
And I was like, look what I got. She's like, girl, my husband's bringing me one after work too. She's like, I've made myself pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls. She was like, I made some other dessert. I don't remember what it was. Cookies or something like that. And I was like, ooh, I wish I were here still.
You almost as bad as the lady in this Facebook group that I'm in for expats. She lives here where I live at. And she made Christmas cookies in the middle of August because she said, oh, I just couldn't wait. Does anyone want the recipe?
Yes.
Bitch. Yes. And let me come pick it up personally so I can set your house on fire. You don't deserve Christmas. Girl, it's August.
Whatever.
It's August. Y'all are nuts. The leaves ain't even started turning yet.
That's okay. It'll happen soon. It'll happen real soon.
I'm disgusted. Anyway,
my plaid shirts are coming out of the closet. I'm so excited.
What? It ain't even cold enough for a long sleeve shirt over there.
It is in this room.
And you know and I can't argue with that because I've been in that room, bitch, and it be the Arctic Circle in there. Goodness gracious. Well, I'm with your mama. Y'all need to get it together. Get a grip. Okay, this is not Halloween Town. This is not Halloween Town 2. This is not Halloween Town 3, the remix. We don't Disney Halloween movies.
Don't Look Under the Bed. I remember that one. I was about to say you're gonna ask me for Halloween movies that are like wait, I remember that. Yeah.
Premiere.
I was in the early 90s. Don't Look Under the Bed. Honestly, I don't know. I would have to go through like Disney Plus.
Okay, was Don't Look Under the Bed about the like boogeyman?
I think so. Like, and I think he was like a younger black guy, and then the main character was ginger.
Bitch, that was scary for children.
Yeah,
they used to scare the shit out of me because I was little. I was watching reruns. By the time it got to me, it was on reruns. I'm sure you was there for the premiere.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like I can't even say nothing because I was tuned in. Right. Yep. I was listening to a podcast the other day. Speaking of Disney and premieres, and what Jokes on You podcast. Shout out to the Jokes on You podcast with Kale, Mel, and the other young lady. I can't remember her name right now. They are hilarious. If y'all don't listen to them, y'all should listen to them. They're really funny. Tell them we sent you. But they were talking about That's So Raven. When That's So Raven premiered, because they are both around my age. Telly, that's the other girl name. I think she's maybe a year or two older than me. And Mel is like a couple months younger than me. And she was talking about how wild it was to her that she experienced the premiere of That's So Raven. And I'm like, oh my God. I remember I was on the phone with my friend, and she and I was talking, and I was so hyped about that show premiering. And I remember we was on the phone, and I think I was in like third grade or something like that. And I was telling her, like, look, when it come up, I got to get off the phone. Like, I can't be talking. Like, you yapping my ear off. It's about to premiere. She kept, That's so I hung that phone up in her ear. She called the house back. Can't talk. And I watched That's So Raven. She was mad at me the next day, but I was like, girl, I told you.
There's a TikToker who, I don't know the name of the TikTok, and I'm sure there's others out there, but it's been coming up on my For You page where they show old clips of like the old Disney Channel, like just their little promos and the little previews. And like, for instance, like when the Proud Family, you know how Destiny Childs had their little music video, they showed that. Yes. And they showed the little music videos all the Disney kids used to sing in, like the Circle of Life one and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. They showed all that.
The children don't have it. Like, I don't even know what they got on the Disney Channel
either.
Now. But everything is CGI and everything now. Like, it used to be like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. All the shit that they did was like practical gags. Like, niggas was on pulleys and strings and small fireworks, and like it was actually like shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Now everything's just blue screen, green screen, CGI. How do they watch that stuff?
Yeah. I will say I did really like they showed where the kids were like, you know, oh, I'm so and so from this show only on Disney, and then they would show the little mouse. The amount of people who you could tell now as an adult did not want to be there doing that. They were just like, I'm Hilary Duff and I'm from Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah. There's a literal video of Raven Simone when she did hers.
Oh,
and she
yeah.
had an attitude.
Like, yeah. She was just like,
not want to do that shit.
Listening to her, she was like, hi, I'm Raven Simone from That's So Raven.
And then she threw the wand across the goddamn set, stabbing a PA in the heart. He died. They had to cover up the murder. Like, it was...
they did that. But I get it, though, because a lot of these people, they're playing 14, 15, 16-year-olds, but they're in their 20s now. Yeah. Or they're getting close to their 20s. They don't want to do this stuff anymore. You know, they had been on...
Efron was a smooth 36 when he did High School Musical.
I was about to say, what? No, the guy who played Hannah Montana's brother, he was in his 30s.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was like in his mid-30s playing a 16-year-old. Now, granted... Crazy. He was old enough where he was having fun with it, but like when you're in your late teens, early 20s, you don't want to be doing this kid stuff anymore. You got money, you want to go out, you want to do other stuff, you probably want to do more grown-up stuff. You don't want to be seen as a little kid anymore.
Yeah. I'm sure he was looking forward to... Oh, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. I was about to say something crazy. No, not on Hannah Montana. Not on Hannah Montana. I'm on another.
It just sounded like
show. No, not on Hannah Montana. See, that's why I didn't even want to say it. And I fucked myself up. Either way, it still got out.
Because when you don't finish a sentence, we got to finish it for ourselves, and it's never in the right direction.
And you know what? I'm gonna start finishing my sentences because y'all not finna. Y'all, you know what? Let's go to the stories because I'm not finna do this to myself. The first story today comes to us from my favorite subreddit r/relationship advice, and it is entitled "I surprised my boyfriend only to find his ex at his house. How do I handle this?"
Girl. Have you been seeing those TikTok trends where the girlfriends come in to their boyfriends from long distance? Oh, you don't have TikTok. This is what it reminds me of when people are in like, they're usually like college kids or something like that, when they're in long distance relationship and they're like, oh, I secretly flew across the world to see my boyfriend, and they are recording themselves going into the rooms. And a lot of times the guys are just like some of them have arms around girls, or they're like, it's just, to me, it's obvious, or to a lot of people, it's obvious they're not as excited. Like, they're not going, oh my God, like, it's my girlfriend. And you're like, hugging. They're just like,
they like
getting up off the couch, like, yeah, hey. I was like, and they're like hugging them.
Some coochie, and here you come.
And the girls are just like, no.
Is this how
I would have opened up the door and seen my boyfriend's reaction and be like, sorry for bothering you with my relationship. Click.
Let me say something. I had that exact thing happen to me actually with my wife for my 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm.
My 21st birthday. You weren't there because you didn't like me. At that time. No, right. I don't think we had really met at that time. Because it wasn't until after I turned 21 until we met.
So I didn't like you.
Yeah, because that's the default. Yeah. If Crystal don't know you, she don't like you. Remember that, y'all. No, I'm lying. But my wife, girlfriend at the time, did that. Surprised me. Mm-hmm. And mind you, I had plans. We was finna go out to eat. We was finna go out to the bar. We was finna go have a ball. I had bottles everywhere, liquor everywhere. We was turning up in the hotel. Had me a nice little suite or whatever. And then I get a knock at the door. And I look at the peephole and my mom is standing at the door. And I was like, put the liquor away.
Knowing you're full on 21 now.
Girl. They was rolling the weed. They was everything. Like, it was a lot going on in their room. It was my 21st. So it was like, I was like, put everything away. Throw it in the closet. Go, go, go. And, when my mom retells the story, she says, all she remembers is knocking on the door and hear. Because it took me a good, minute and a half to come to the door because we had to get all this shit together and everybody had to get in their places and catch their breath. So I opened the door and I'm like, hey, what's right? I opened the door and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And then she said to the side of my wife, well, girlfriend at the time, was standing there and surprised me. And I was shooketh because, at that time we lived in two separate countries.
Yeah.
I had no idea she was coming. And I promptly was like, it was like a good 15 people in my hotel room at the time. And I was like, thank you all so much for coming. You may go home.
and that's how you're supposed to react. These guys just like, you're here. You came.
Right. How long you gonna be here? All
right. I guess so.
Can y'all take her down to the cafeteria real quick? I'm gonna only be like 30 minutes.
No, you stay.
Fashion girl. No, you stay.
You sir.
You're the 30 minutes. You're my 30-minute appointment. You stay. So the story goes like this. I went to drop off my boyfriend's favorite meal to him today, only to find his ex's car in the driveway. I rang the doorbell and he came outside and said, I'm sorry. I just feel so confused right now. I remember cussing him out a bit, crying and saying I didn't know how he could do this to me when we had plans to move in just a few months, asking him what his plan was for all of this, and then told him that the part that hurts me most is the lies and deception. And he was lucky I wasn't a violent person because he deserved to get slapped. Now, girl, to me, that don't count as violence in this situation. That ain't quite violent enough, if you ask me. Then I told him that I would talk to him tomorrow because I realized she could see our entire interaction from his security camera monitors and didn't want her to witness it. Now I'm wishing I said more, threw her out, etc. And I can't help but feeling like I want to forgive him because I love him, but feeling ashamed if I do. Any advice on this? Any advice on how this can be salvaged or if it's even worth trying to, if I should move on? He didn't chase after me and I haven't heard from him, which makes hurt even worse. And then she said that the girl asked her just 2 weeks prior to this situation if they could go out and get drinks. And she said she knows she's young and she lives in a big city. So she could easily find someone else, but she really thought that this was the one. And her dad even told her that he also thought that he was one before he passed away. Any advice for her, Crystal?
See, I think that's probably what it is. I think your dad just passed away or has passed away fairly recently or something like that. And he gave his approval to this guy. And that's why you're like, maybe I should forgive him.
Yep.
I think that's the attachment. That's why you're loving so hard on this guy. But at the end of the day, this guy has not contacted you. You have left upset enough that you very well could be breaking up with him. And he seems okay. He's cool with it.
He ain't even say nothing to you. Like, he ain't chase after you. He let you, he went back. I'm going to just let you know right now, girl. He went back in that house and they continued whatever they was doing before you got there.
Yeah.
She said, babe, who was that? He was like, oh, they was delivering to the wrong house.
Yeah.
And he went back in there and he got knee deep. Please continue, Crystal.
Yeah. I'm going to say you should definitely walk away from this one. We're always so quick to be like, girl, leave him, don't stay, blah, blah, blah. And I personally, I do believe it, but I also understand when it comes to love, like it's harder to not forgive than to just try to move on or whatever. But like he gave no efforts, nothing. And even if now he were to be like, okay, baby, like, I'm so sorry. I understand you're upset. Let's talk. I want to make it up to you. Here's some flowers. Here's some chocolate. Like, girl, no, like days have gone by and nothing. He waited until his ex-girlfriend was busy doing whatever it is she needs to do. And then he came back to you. You are a very low priority in his life. And he made that fairly obvious. They sound young. Right? Is that how old are they?
Yeah, she is 25. He's 26, and the ex is 24.
Okay, so they're not terribly young. They're not like what I thought.
And
you guys are out of college.
Say how long they had been together.
Right. Either way.
To me, this sounds like it's pretty new, and you were probably the rebound girl. Like you may have to come to terms with that. Like, yeah, y'all may have been about to move in a few months, which even makes me believe more that this is a brand new situation.
I don't know, because she's saying like her father was thinking he was the one. Like, and we don't know how long ago since he's passed. So it could be maybe not as new as we're trying to make it out to be. But either way, you are a low priority to him, and you don't deserve to be a low priority to your partner.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me feel like it's not that long is because it's the ex. So I feel like he was probably with the ex longer than he's been with her, which is why it's so easy for him to just go back to her and be like, well, girl, fuck you. Like, I won't take this shit serious. No way. You know, I feel like she was way deeper in it than he was. They were on two different pages, you know?
Right.
Girl, fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
All right. Was that a relationship advice or not the asshole type thing?
That was relationship advice.
Okay. Well, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do I want to do first?
Which one you want to do first?
Okay, I'm gonna do this one. This one is also from a relationship advice.
Come on, relationship advice.
And this says, my 28 female husband, 33 male, has been babied by his mother all his life, and now it's ruining our marriage. What can I do?
Murder the mom.
I genuinely don't even know where to start with this because we have so much history together, but here we go. My husband and I have been married for 10 plus years, and I'm now learning what weaponized incompetence is. I spent the first several years of our marriage begging for the least bit of help. Promises were made and always broken. I grew up in a household of 5, 2 parents, 3 kids. We learned how to share responsibilities at a young age and always worked together to keep the house nice. My husband grew up pretty much an only child because his sister is 10 years older than him and was in and out of the house throughout his very young years. The big differences between our families is money. He grew up with a maid, and anything the maid didn't do, his mother did. He had no chores, no responsibilities. I was young and naive when we got married and assumed that he would grow up. That was your mistake. That he would share the housework and not leave me with literally everything. I honestly didn't even expect 50-50. I would have taken 90% if he had would just do 10%. He did nothing. I mean nothing. I didn't want to put up with it, and I tried my hardest not to. We argued about it all the time. Fast forward to now, have the argument about cleaning stop? Absolutely not. They are much less frequent because I feel like part of me has truly given up. I struggle with severe depression and have throughout pretty much my whole life. I was diagnosed at 6 years old. He knows how bad my struggles have been, and that's what makes it harder to accept that he has been leaving me hanging for all these years. The house has fallen into disarray because I can't keep up with it. It's a 3-bedroom because our plans were for 2 children. It's just us and our 2 cats. Why? Because I couldn't raise a child on my own. Married, but in nearly every way, I feel single. I feel alone throughout everything at all times. I gave him an empty threat of divorce last week. Empty because I have no one and nowhere else to go. He got up and did the dishes. I was in shock. The first thing he's done. Immediately afterwards, my rocky confidence in his ability started to change. Oh, I'm sorry. Immediately afterwards, my rocky confidence in his ability to change was shattered more when he approached me and waited for praise for cleaning the dishes. Ugh, that was a struggle. Let me read that sentence again just for the edit.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately afterwards, my rocky confidence in his ability to change was shattered more when he approached me and waited praise for cleaning the dishes. I think she meant to say wanted praise for cleaning the dishes.
Probably.
Now every argument sounding like, hey, let's not make a Mountain Dew can pyramid next to the bed, or can you stop shoving food down the sink drain that has no disposal because the entire house smells like rotting food now, always ends with, but I did the dishes. This man got a job from his mother at 16 at a business she owned, in a position that she created for him. She has paid him weekly regardless of whether he shows up or not. For the record now, he hasn't been to work in nearly a year, so I don't want to hear that he has a job and you're at home, because no, he does not. I feel like I'm in such a bad place now and I feel completely trapped. I don't want to leave. I just want things to be better. I want him to hear me. I want him to care about how stressed I constantly am. I feel like I am starting to harbor resentment and I just don't know what to do. Please help.
Oh. If you're watching the podcast, right, on the YouTubes, and I want you to go back and I want you to see how my facial expressions changed from the beginning of this story and morphed into how my face ended up by the end of the story, right? Because as the story went on and as she gave us more details, the more and more it became evident that she is just as to blame for enabling this man as she claims the mama is. Okay, because you allowed this man, you've been with this man for 10 years. You felt alone for 10 years. You let this man trigger your depression for 10 years. You let this man get away with the absolute minimum for 10 years. You were aware of all of this stuff the entire time, and you've let it take a toll on you this entire time. And your solution was to give him an empty threat of divorce. And he does one thing. And then he fucks that one thing up. And I get it that it's going to be, girl, you went so far as to not purposefully ensuring that you were not going to get pregnant by this man and deliver a child by this man. Because you could not depend on him to be a co-parent. But you writing to us on Reddit for advice for what to do with your husband that has barely been a husband to you for the past decade. I'm going to touch your hand when I say this, baby. You need to get the fuck from around that man. because I'm not going to give you too much, okay? Because he's the one that's in the wrong here. But baby, you are enabling your own captor. Like you are enabling. I don't want to use the word abuser, but this man, he is absolutely manipulating the situation where you threatening that divorce. Where was he was like, all right, this bitch ain't playing. Let me give her a little bone and to keep this thing going. But this is the most extreme case of this that I've heard, because for him to get away scot-free for 10 years and then all he has to do is do the dishes wrong, and that's enough for you to reconsider your point, girl, that man got you lock and key. Like he knows exactly what to do to keep you where he needs you to be for him to be able to do net zero for your household or your relationship. You know what I'm saying? You already know the answer, girl. You already know the answer. I ain't even got to say it.
My question to this OP would be, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I mean, in another 10 years. Because it's been 10 years since you've been with him and nothing has changed. This is a 33-year-old man. So in 10 years he's going to be 43. Do you see anything else changing? Do you see or do you see yourself exactly where you are, plus the possibility of having a child because things happen?
Oh, I hope not.
You know, I just don't. I'm with Timmy. I think you know what you need to do. You need to get a job. You need to start saving your money, and you need to go, because that's the only thing that's stopping you, right? You are stopping yourself from having the life that you deserve.
Girl, I'm glad you said it, because that's what I wanted to say, but I know that our audience is like 98.98% women. I don't want them being like, oh, that's easy for you to say as a man, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Listen.
The only thing
girl,
I can think
you are
of
your
is
own
that
prisoner at this point. There is nothing but space and opportunity for you to get the fuck up out of there. And you suffer from clinical depression. It's difficult to get up out that. You know, you may not ever really get up out that, but you can create peace in your life to facilitate you doing better.
Yeah. And I feel like I think you need to be honest with yourself. And I wonder if by staying with him, you're benefiting also from him being a mama's boy, in terms of the fact that you must have some sort of a house that neither one of you really have to worry about paying for, because the mom essentially does it for him because he doesn't even have to work. So is it more of a financial thing? Because if that's the case, I don't understand why you're not taking advantage of it. Girl. Go out there, find a job, save money. Since you don't have any bills that you have to pay for, all of your money should go towards you, essentially. And find that independence. I mean, find a group of friends, go on Facebook and find a hobby, like do something that's going to get you to start living independently. Because you're saying you're single in every way, but on paper, start acting like it then. Start doing things for yourself.
Come on, hey! Come on, Pastor Crystal. You just gave us a word. All right, girl. Good luck. Get up out of there.
Yes, good luck.
Get up out of there.
For sure.
You ready to move on with the show?
Yes.
Let's do it. So, Crystal, I have a game for you.
I know. I'm really nervous.
So I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were playing this game. I've heard of the game before in the past. But honestly, I hadn't really seen anyone or witnessed anyone play it. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a game of mind meld. So, okay. Yeah. So the way that this game goes, Crystal is scared.
I am. I'm like, shivering.
So the way that the game goes, right? So I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. And after 3, we're going to say a word. The first word is just a random word that we come up with, right?
Okay.
The objective after that, I'm going to keep counting. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to say another word. Every word after the initial word, we're going to try to name a word that's connected to the words that we said to try to make them similar. So the point of the game is for us to get to the same word at the same time. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
If I say, this is going to be a really, really close example. If I say door and you say window, then the next word could be house. And you could say living room. Okay, then we're in the same area. I could say rug. You could say dining chair. We're even closer. We're getting even smaller. Then we both say coffee table at the same time. Okay. Then we've gotten there. You see what I'm getting at?
Yes.
Where we're starting big and we're getting smaller and smaller with the goal of coming up with the same word at the same time. So we really have to be locked in to try to get this word. Okay.
Oh, okay. I feel so sorry for our listeners for this round because my brain just does not work quickly. I feel like I'm gonna
listen. It's okay. It's not meant to work quickly. This isn't a rapid game. Okay. We're gonna be kind of rapid because we're on the clock. We don't want too much dead air. But the point of the game is for us to be locked in here. Okay, girl. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. Then you say your word. The initial word could be anything. After that, we need to try to get close. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Camel.
Blue.
Woo! Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we got this. All right, ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Crayons.
Sand. What did you say?
I said crayons.
I thought we were going with the theme now.
That's the point. We have to get here, okay? Okay.
Okay.
So you said sand. I said crayons. Okay. Okay, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Glass.
What did you say?
I said glass because you said sand.
I said art. Okay. You said glass and I said art. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Crystal.
Okay.
We got this.
Okay.
We got this. Glass art. We got this. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Sculpture.
Painting.
Okay.
Oh, girl, we getting there. Okay. Painting, sculpture. Okay. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Museum.
Da Vinci.
Okay. Okay. Museum, Da Vinci. Okay.
See, but I don't know anything that Da Vinci made.
Well, it don't have to be. It don't have to
I know.
Something similar.
Okay. I think I got something.
I said, what you said?
You said museum. I said Da Vinci. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I have something.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mona Lisa. Yay!
Oh we did it.
Oh my god.
Ain't that fun?
From camel and what was my first word? I don't even remember.
Camel.
Blue.
And blue. Mm-hmm. From there to Mona Lisa.
Because I really was thinking. I was like, damn, what did Da Vinci do? I was like, he did something.
Did he do the Mona Lisa?
I think so.
But I didn't even make that connection, actually.
I immediately was in like...
Okay, what's an actual painting?
I was in Paris. I was in the Louvre. And I was like, okay. Yeah.
I did the exact same thing. I went to the Louvre and I was going to say the Louvre. But then when I was like, nah, let me say something that's in the Louvre because I already said museum.
Right.
The mind meld. Isn't it crazy?
That was hilarious.
Okay. You want to do one more?
Okay, one more.
One more. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Radio.
Flower. Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
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 Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Woodstock.
Music.
Hey. Okay. Music. Woodstock. Girl, we got it.
See,
You
now,
ready?
why would you say that? Why would you? Anytime someone says something in that tone, it goes off. It goes off.
Okay, Woodstock.
Okay.
Music. Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I'm so scared. I feel like we could get it on this one, but
I
don't know. Okay, ready?
Because I have like 2, and I'm like, I don't know.
Me too, and I'm like, I don't know which one I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. The Beatles. And that was my second one. I wasn't gonna go with that one. I went with it at the last second.
My first
What was your other one?
My other one was 70s.
And I'm glad you didn't do it because I was gonna say hippies. But we went with the Beatles. Girl.
Good job.
That's it.
High five.
My meal. We want to play that again another time.
Yes, that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah,
I was real nervous.
After that
because
first round,
it's a little trivia-ish.
Right.
A little trivia-ish. And for you guys who don't know, me and Timmy had a pre-show meeting and we were talking about games. And I told him I never want him to do any sort of a trivia-ish type game with me unless there's like multiple choice or something like that, because I don't want you guys to realize just how dumb I am. So
y'all, she is not dumb. She is not dumb. But
I mean,
no, Crystal know me. I don't like games really. You've been I think you've been out with me when someone has, where it's like at a bar or something and somebody has proposed a game. If there's one thing I am, it is very upfront. I would be like, no.
See, and for me, and I'm going against my my nature, as some of y'all would like to say, I don't like karaoke. I hate it. I don't find it a good time personally. When I can't watch those like American Idol type auditions where they feature the person who's very obviously not good being shown. It's because it gives that vibe. Like, it's one thing when people know they can't sing, but they go out there and they have a good time. Cool, fine, whatever. I mean, I don't really want to have to hear it, but I get it. You guys are drinking, you have a good time. But there's always that one person who does think that they are good. And they give it their all with this idea that they're good. And we have to sit there and be like, and I can't, because my face almost always is like, and inevitably somehow I'm near the front of the audience, so my face is what they're seeing. And then I feel bad because I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Like, I just can't. I can't.
He up there singing like, who was that man? She bang.
Right. And because
American Idol back in the day.
And what gets me is that, for a show like American Idol, you have to go through several auditions. So these people, and now I'm sure there's people who know they're bad, and then so they go on there with the full intention of just getting on TV. But there are people who believe that they're good. And when you're passing them through all these auditions and they're like, see, I got through the first round. I got through the second round. I did the interview. They really like me. And then you see it on national television and you're a laughing stock. I can't.
Yeah.
The
producers was in the background like, girl, put her through, because we finna get some views off of her. Okay, this is YouTube.
Exactly.
In perpetuity. Okay, and we finna get views on this forever.
It's a no for me. It's a no. All right.
Yeah.
I am up. It's from the subreddit Am I the Jerk, but it's an Am I the Asshole.
Am I the Jerk? I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So this one says, am I the asshole for refusing to... before I get this started, because I know it's going to be in the comments. I know it's going to be in the comments. This isn't real. This is fake on things that didn't happen, Alex. I don't care. Yes, it sounds fantastical, but I don't care. It's so funny to me when people are like, this didn't happen. Okay.
Mind you, because I was actually listening to. No, I can't say that. Never mind. I have to tell you after the show because there's something. But I have read stories, plenty of stories where I'm like, girl, this is not fun.
This is not.
Like, why y'all playing in our faces like this? You know.
And I feel like this is one of them. But she gave like 4 updates. There are many updates, but she gave like 4 updates. So I don't know. Maybe it is true because there are some crazy people out there.
Oh, girl, I can't wait.
Anyways, this one says, am I the asshole refusing to give my baby to my twin sister who has always been the golden child?
Give her baby?
Yes, for refusing to give my baby to my twin sister who has always been the golden child.
Okay.
Hey, Reddit, I'm in a really tough spot and could use some outside perspective. I'm a 28-year-old single woman, currently 7 months pregnant and living on my own. My sister and I are twins, but she's the golden child in our family, always getting special treatment, praise, and the best of everything. Growing up, she was the perfect daughter in my parents' eyes, while I often felt like the overshadowed one. It was like our entire childhood revolved around her being showered with gifts and accolades, while my achievements were downplayed or ignored. Now she's married, and I've heard her husband is great, but they've been struggling with infertility. The situation has now taken an insane turn. Recently, our parents approached me with a shocking proposal. They want me to give my baby to my sister and her husband once it's born because they believe she deserves it more. My heart sank when they expressed this. They argued that since she has a stable home and a family, she is better suited to raise a child than I am, given that I'm a single mother. This left me feeling heartbroken and furious. I get that they're excited about being grandparents, but I've worked hard to prepare for this baby, and I firmly believe that my child deserves to be raised by me. Sure, I might not be the picture-perfect family in their eyes, but I have love to give and I can provide for my baby. I thought my refusal will put an end to their unreasonable expectations, but instead they've escalated things. They staged a family meeting where they tried to pressure me further. Mom even went as far as to give me an ultimatum saying, if you do not do this for your sister, we will withdraw all support for you and will stop considering you part of this family. This completely blindsided me and I was left feeling more isolated than ever. I've since expressed my clear stance. My child is not a pawn in their ridiculous game. I've told my parents I'm not giving up my baby, and frankly, I was surprised that they would ever even ask. But I'm worried that my refusal might permanently fracture or alter strained family ties. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for saying no to my parents and refusing to give my baby to my sister?
This is nuts. What?
Right?
I'm not part of the family anymore if I don't give my child to my twin sister. All of you niggas is weird.
I'm curious if they're identical or not. I'm curious if they're identical. Because I know they say, I think with identical twins, like you can't even do a DNA test to say if a child is theirs or not because their DNA is the same. So they could very easily pass her child off as a sister's child.
Ain't no fucking way. Girl, this is like some get out level stuff. Right. Like your family didn't just straight switched on you, girl. You better make sure you get your baby and get the hell up out of there. Okay? Because you might come up missing behind that child. Because it's girl. Because they crazy enough to say all this stuff to you. You might come up missing.
Yeah, they're crazy enough to
be raised thinking that your sister is their mom.
Is the mom.
Because it's finna be you in the pictures and they ain't gonna be able to tell the difference, girl. You're like, oh, you was holding me? Okay, yeah, mama was holding me. Then you gonna look like the nut. You know what I'm saying? Get your child and get out of there. Your support system is gone. They already told you. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we're not gonna be part of this baby life anyway. So cut your losses. Preserve your life.
Non-existent.
And if your sister and her husband don't get their way, they are going to be overbearing with this child. They gonna be getting this child all this shit that you can't get them, trying to take their baby on extended vacations that they might not come back from. Different. It's gonna get really weird around there. And your family been weird to you your whole life. So it ain't gonna get nothing but weirder from here. Okay. What that girl said, it went from worse to worse, sir.
Yes.
It's about to go from worse to worse, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so pack your things, go find you a new life, raise your baby. When your baby turn 18, tell them the full story. Okay.
Shoot.
You have a aunt who is my identical sister, and that bitch is nuts. Okay.
As
Your
soon as my
grandmother
child
and
could
grandfather
comprehend.
did not die in a train derailment, like I told you. Okay. They are very much alive, and they are also nuts.
Yeah. I wouldn't even wait till they're 18. My child would know as early as possible, as soon as they can understand because you don't know how crazy people are. Like if she took her stuff and disappeared and they found her a little bit later down the line, all they got to do is come up to the child and be like, oh yeah, I'm grandma and grandpa. Like, and kids who hear other kids who have these, moms, these dads, these grandmas, these grandpas, they idolize those things that they don't have. So they'll hear, oh, I do have an aunt, I do have a grandma, I do have a grandpa. Or if the sister is a twin, an identical twin, and the sister shows up, at the school, the daughter's not going to know the difference. Stuff like I would prepare my child as early as possible so that they know you're not going with anybody who either looks like me or who says that they're family or friends, unless I specifically tell you. I would want to try to protect them as early on as possible. Now, granted, I'm assuming the sister and the husband or whatever is going along with this since they had some family meeting. I'm assuming the sister was there. But yeah, you just, when people get desperate enough for things that aren't going their way and they get crazy enough and you have other people who are enabling them, I mean, the weirdest stuff happens. So yeah, I would definitely be preparing my child as soon as possible to know.
This is nightmare fuel.
Yes.
Like, I can't imagine.
Now, she did
having to live like that.
She did do some updates. They're really, really small. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of summarize them. So the first one she said was because people kept asking her, like, why are you asking if you're the asshole? Like, what you need to do. And she was basically saying that she is struggling to cut them off because she feels guilty for denying her child grandparents and an aunt. And then the third update, she said, I read your comments and I've decided to cut contact with them. I blocked all of them. And they have been posting about her nonstop on social media. Most of the family is on their side. I don't understand this. I never understand when I hear that sentence. But they said they're on their side because they made up a story that I agreed to carry a baby for. That I agreed to carry the baby for my sister and her husband. And now I'm going back on it. Dang. They really got you with that one. Who's going to believe you now?
Girl, even more reason for you to get gone before they make you get gone.
Mm-hmm. So she then updated that she had bought some cameras that would connect to her phone so that she can kind of be aware of her circumstances and everything around her. Then she updated again to say that she had hit 8 months and to thank people for suggestions about filing a police report, but she can't because they haven't actually done anything. The sixth update was to say that something about her computer, she doesn't own it. It was actually her sister, and her sister ended up breaking it. And then the final update was that she had given birth to 2 twin girls. They were healthy, and she has gotten away from her family.
Damn, that's kind of correct. Did she not know she was giving birth to twins?
She said that the other one was hiding behind the bigger one the whole time.
And now I know the story fake. Girl, you carrying twins, and you ain't know you was carrying twins. You just thought you was extra, extra large. Like, when you carrying twins, you know you carrying twins.
Yeah, she said her daughter has been hiding during every ultrasound.
All right, girl. Well, you attached one to each hip and sprint it. Okay, kick dust up behind you. Get out of there, or You can put that second one up for sale. If they really want one. If they really want one.
I was about to say, I can't
fund your
imagine. Can you imagine when the family found out that not only did she give birth to a girl, but she gave birth to twins?
They're probably, all right, girl, well, come on now.
You can't just give us one.
This is a compromise. The Lord gave you a compromise. Give up. You can't take care of both of them. Give up one.
Give up one. You'll still see the other one.
Right.
You'll just be aunt to her.
Aunt to her. Why do they look exactly alike? She don't need to know all that.
Because we're twins. Okay.
We're twins. That's how it works. Genetics. It passed down. We each get one.
Ours are very strong.
Exactly.
Overpowers the men.
Right. Even though his dad is, her husband is black. Your daddy, was white. It don't matter. This is the way twins work.
I mean,
ask Mary Kate and Ashley. Okay.
I was about to say, you've seen those people who give birth to twins who are very different complexions. Like one of them is very white, one of them is very black.
Yeah. Y'all just both came out albino.
Right.
I don't know. Girl.
Like I said, my genes are very strong.
My genes are very strong. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine having Caucasian genes so strong that it wash out the black off or something?
Damn well that man is like, this is that. What was that? This is not my baby. This is not my baby. Look at this. That's not. Okay. Not an ounce of melon. Why I got red hair? Your shit's black.
But you know what? One of my younger cousins, he has red hair.
Oh yeah. Black. My nephew, I mean, granted, his mother had red hair, but my nephew started off with red hair.
Red hair,
not my brother's kid, but best friends. Yeah, he started off with red curls because his mother had red hair, and then as he got older, it got turned into a lighter brown.
And that's just so wild the way they genetics.
I wish it had stayed though. It was so cute. It was such a pretty red too.
Was it like a real dark red, or was it like a?
I felt like it was very close to more of like an orangey, like a brownish red.
Okay.
But yeah, it was when he was really like a baby, and then very quickly it changed. It didn't stay very long.
You know what's crazy? My grandmother and mom and my sister and my daughter. If you look, if they go out in the sun, you can see that there's like a red tint to their hair. And my daughter has it a lot, where when she goes out in the sun, her hair changes shades in the summertime anyway. It gets a lot lighter. But you can see like she has like a red tint to her hair. It's really crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people when they see my hair, just in general, they immediately like, oh, you have black hair. I'm like, no, I've always had really dark brown hair, but when it's in the sunlight, you can see different strands are some a little bit lighter. And I don't know, but sometimes I always felt like I saw a little bit of red in there. I don't know if that's why I tend to favor the copperish. When I get my hair colored and stuff like that, I tend to get it colored like a copperish red color. I just think it looks nice in the brown.
It do. Yeah, well, you've had reddish hair before, right? Yeah, I'm about to say. I feel like
I will again. I will again. The next time I go get it done, it's going to happen again.
Gonna have a red tint. Okay.
It'll like a copperish color, definitely.
But y'all can look forward to that, audience. Let's do this last story. It ain't too long. This one is from the subreddit r/am I the asshole, and it is entitled "Am I the asshole?" Oh, girl, I thought I had the same story as you for a second, but I was like, "Oh, wait, no,
hold on, we can't do that." Oh, mind you. Because we didn't say this, but it was obvious. You are not the asshole for wanting to keep your child.
Oh, baby, at all. Like that other person said, why are you even asking us? You're not the asshole.
You know what you needed to do. You just needed the internet to tell you, get away from those people. Exactly. And I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So this one is entitled, Am I the Asshole for Not Giving My Sister My Wife's Clothes? See why I thought, because not giving the sister. Yeah. And I got scared for a second, like, damn, did I forget? And it goes a little something like this. My wife was a corporate lawyer and mediator. She had some very nice work clothes. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was gone in 2 years. The last 6 months of her life were hell. My sister Sarah didn't do jack shit for us during that time. My wife never liked her. I don't like her. She is a selfish cow. At my wife's wake, she started asking about my wife's clothes, and I brushed her off. She wanted to pick out a few pieces to remember her by, and I ignored her. It's been 6 months and I've attended my mom's birthday, and I'm still not in the mood to deal with people. Then Sarah comes asking about my wife's clothes. I told her my wife wanted to donate them to the women's shelter. Let me start it again. I told her my wife wanted me to donate them to this women's shelter, and she often helped, and it would help women in need with their own court cases, court appointments, and job interviews. My sister Sarah said that my wife was even selfish in death. I asked her, what the fuck did that mean? And she started going off on how my wife was always thinking that she was better than her, and that it's not fair that the clothes are going to a charity and not to family. I told my sister I would rather set my wife's clothes on fire than see them on her back. My sister started crying and my mom came over to see what was going on. My mom told me to be easy on my sister because she's taking my wife's death hard. The fucking audacity of that coming out of my mom's mouth made me grab my gift and leave. My mom acts like I had to ruin her birthday by being melodramatic, but I cannot believe their emotional blackmail towards me over fucking clothes that they never had the right to. Am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not. And second, you know what? I think I would have been like, when they both came to me and they were like, oh yeah, she's taking it really hard. Okay, you're taking it really hard because you were so close. Okay, what's her favorite color?
Ooh.
What was her favorite activity? What's her favorite movie? What did she like to do to unwind when she was stressed? You know, I mean, just basic questions that you would know for someone who you would probably be mourning.
And why weren't you there for the last month of her life?
When was her birthday? Matter of fact, when was the last time you sat and had a conversation with her?
Oh, fuck them up, Crystal.
Like, I would just be like, don't sit here and come to my face telling me you're mourning and you want something to remember her by when you weren't even there when she was alive.
Come on.
So, yeah, absolutely not the asshole. Like, it is emotional blackmail, and it is baffling that someone could think that donating to charity is somehow more selfish than giving it to someone who isn't even in need of them. You want them because more than likely there was some sort of designer, if she's wearing this stuff to court and stuff like that. That's why you want them.
And she didn't even wait till that lady was in the ground to start asking about her clothes.
At the wake, ma'am? At the wake.
You heard that my wife passed, and the first thing you thought was, oh, that's sad. What y'all finna do with them clothes, though?
So
she got a nice Gucci set. I'm disgusted.
Disgusted, yeah. No,
I couldn't imagine. Not. I couldn't imagine being at the wake, going to the person's spouse, and be like, I'm so sorry for your loss. About those Louis Vuittons, right?
Right.
So, because she was a size 7.
Yeah.
And you know what is crazy? Because I too am a size 7, and I think I was pretty sure, like the last time I visited her, that she said, I know she couldn't really talk because she had the tube in her throat, but I think she gargled Louis Vuitton to me. So I would really, if you could just honor her wishes, I would really enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said 7. I'm really a 7.5, but I can make them fit. It's fine. Honestly,
baby, I'll squeeze in.
I'll squeeze in for them Louis Vuittons. Yeah, no, absolutely not the asshole. Not. And I'm so sorry that you have that for your family. You're going through a really difficult time. I hope you are in some sort of group therapy or in some sort of counseling to help you. And I think your wife is doing an amazing thing to donate this to a shelter that she helped at. It's not just some random thing. Like, she actively was someone who was doing something with this place. And you're right. These things can help a lot of people, a lot of women who are going to court, who are going to job interviews, who need a little help, because appearance is everything, as we've learned in the society. People are going to take one look at you and they're going to make a judgment based off of how you look. So the better they can look from your wife's donation, I mean, I don't think of any better way you can honor her than doing that.
Because if I was a judge and a crackhead came in there with a Gucci suit, you might just get off. Because you a little too fly to be in the jailhouse. You got to let the street see that fit. Okay?
I'm a wonder if someone was wrong. Like, it was you? They got that wrong, right? Yeah, that was wrong.
Okay.
This
is the Yves Saint Laurent 3-piece set. Like, how did we get here?
Right.
No, let's send you to the Beverly Hills Rehabilitation Center where you belong.
And the city will pay for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% costs covered by the city. Before we get up out of here, Crystal, I did want to share the comment that we got on Apple Podcasts. This is from user RCKNLVR. Don't know what the hell that means. You may have just called me a chicken monkey. You know what? Let me not do that.
I was about to say, they're going to be like, let me take that comment back.
Okay, because they were being nice. And the Lord tripped my tongue up because he was like, be nice. So this person gave us 5 stars and left a written review. This is what we've been asking y'all to do. Y'all go over there and get like RCKNLVR. They said, such a funny podcast here from YouTube and Instagram. I absolutely love these 2 amazing people and their podcast. It's awesome. The chemistry they have make this podcast so fun. I just can't get enough, and I stay tuned every week for a new episode. That is so very kind.
It is.
We love doing this show for y'all. We come back here every week, even when we don't feel like it.
Yes.
Okay.
But at the end of it, we're always like, our mood is always lifted.
Always. It's such a good time to be here with y'all. We're so glad that y'all enjoy the podcast. So happy to see y'all in the comment section, especially on the YouTube. Like, y'all are really becoming a little family over there. We are so happy to see the recurring comments, the new comments that are coming. So we really appreciate y'all. Please keep it coming. Anything you want to say to the people on our anniversary episode before I close out the show, Kristen?
No, I'm so happy you guys have joined us, that you've been, for those of you who've been here from the beginning and for those of you who are just now joining us, it really means everything to us. We really appreciate it. The comments have been amazing. We've been trying really hard to keep up with them and to make sure we answer you guys within a timely fashion. I love the little debates that have been going on, just the love that you guys have been expressing. I hope you guys have started to be able to watch some of our lives. We did TikTok last week, and I did figure out that I probably will upload them to YouTube as is, like, you know, maybe eventually I'll like do some little clips here and there of them. But for the most part, I think I'll upload them. So in case you do miss it, you can still go back and watch it, because we had a good time on that live. I will tell you that much. We went on there with the intention of only being on there for 30 minutes. And I think we were on there for a good 2 hours. And my brother made an appearance. So it was a good time.
And don't get used to that. Because your boys, that was a one-time thing. Well, being on there for so long, you know.
Yeah.
Justin,
being on there for so long.
You girls, y'all only got me for the bitch's bedtime.
I know, you were like yawning on there.
I was. But I was hurt the next day. But,
but yeah, we're figuring it out. We're still figuring out the lives. We're going on live right after this on Instagram. I don't know where we're going to go next week. We'll let you know. We'll keep you guys updated as we figure it out as well. But we're definitely going to try to perfect our live viewing for you guys. So let us know.
Pay attention to our stories. If you want to know what's going on with the Teen Crystals podcast, everything is in our stories.
Yes.
On whichever social media platforms, I think Instagram, Facebook, and I don't know about TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok
as well. They're on the stories there. Everything you need to know, when you can tune in. If anything changes with our schedule, that's where you'll see it. Okay, so go there, pay attention.
For sure. But yeah, and let us know in the comments. Let us know which one you prefer, what you would like to see us on, what you thought of it. Just give us feedback. We love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of the Tea and Crystals podcast. If you like what you heard, leave us a 5-star review and a written review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. If you like what you saw, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, or you would like to share your own story with us, please do so at tiaandcrystal@gmail.com. That's TEANDCRYSTAL@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook by searching Tea and Crystals Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Tea and Crystals Podcast and on Instagram at Tea and Crystals Pod. You can find the links to all of those things wherever you are listening or watching. So click those links. Now, Crystal, is there anything else you want to say to the people before we get the hell up out of here?
Nope. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes, we
Bye.
will. Bye, y'all.